Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the viewers that are listening to this video. My name is Jason Masaira. I come from a city of Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. Back in my country, we greet you by saying Makadini or Salibonani. One of the things that influenced me to study abroad was embracing the cultural differences around the world, and because of this is why I am studying microbiology here in India. So right now I'm going to share my experience about how I traveled from Zimbabwe, coming on a plane here to India. And unlike everyone else, it was my first time to travel on a plane, and it was truly an amazing experience. One of the experiences I remember was when I was in the airplane and the flight attendant told us to keep our heads down during takeoff so that we do not feel a bit sick, because when the plane takes off, yeah, there are some things that happen inside. So I experienced that, and it was an unpleasant experience. But the fact that it was my first time, I did not really mind it all. The journey from Zimbabwe to India was a very long journey, but it was a momentous experience, because from where I was sitting, I had a very large and very nice view of the clouds, of the bright blue sky, and I was taken a breath with everything that I saw there. And when I arrived in India, my experience got amazed, because I saw a difference in culture. I saw a difference in the way that they do the things here in India. So when I came to my university, uh, I experienced cultural diversity in the fact that the food here in India is a lot different from what we have back in Africa, in Zimbabwe. Also, the way that they celebrate their festivals, the way that they celebrate their different traditions is also different from us, taking in note a difference in religion. But my experience, it was truly wonderful. One of the challenges that I came across when I came here in India was, of course, the food. Their diet did not really, agree with me, because their diet is mainly comprised of spicy foods, which is something that many of us are not used to back in Africa. But I got to overcome that challenge when when I relocated from the hostels, from the university hostels, to a separate apartment where I can be able to cook my own traditional foods that I am used to back in Zimbabwe, like sadza, pap, and different stews. Right now, I'm going to tell you about my course and my experience in the learning sector at my university. First of all, I am studying microbiology. It is a science subject that comprises of testing samples of blood, of urine, or stools, in order to determine what kind of disease a person might have, even genetics and things that are related in the medical sector. So this course, or this subject, helps me to diagnose patients. It helps me to diagnose different people of what they might be sick of, or what they might be feeling. So my learning experience was truly wonderful, because the person who is teaching us right now is an Indian professor, and she is teaching us on how to be good and great microbiologists in the future. One challenge that I got to face in the learning sector, that some of our lecturers, some of them, they do not speak English. They speak their native language, which is Hindi. So the culture barrier and the language barrier is there, but it is not really an obstacle that hinders us from getting an advanced learning experience, because we have friends that are Indians that can translate to us what the teacher will be sharing. And not only is this helpful to us, but it also helps us to create a bond between our classmates and their different cultures and traditions. So it forms a bond, it forms a relationship as classmates, as friends, and our relationship to the teacher, as we will be acquiring knowledge from her. Now I'm going to talk about my own personal experience here in India. So my experience here in India, I had some doubts. I had a few worries of myself as a human being, of basically in terms of my faith, in terms of the spiritual aspect of my life, because the majority of us as Zimbabweans, as Africans, we are Christians. So I was no, I knew that I was coming to a country that is not really a Christian-based country. Rather, it is a Hinduism-based country. So one of my worries was, how am I going to attend church? How is my faith going to grow in a country like this? But to my surprise, or to my amazement, I found that here in India, as university students, they form communities, they form fellowships, they form churches as communities that they can fellowship, and they can still continue praying, praising God as how they were doing it back in their countries. So I was very, very delighted to find that there are many Christian fellowships that are formed by universities, that are formed by African communities, that we can belong to, that we can grow our faith in. So that was one of the things that was very advantageous to me. So one of my an advice that I can give to my listeners, my viewers around the world is, you should not be afraid of changing, because because in life we might think that change is scary, change is something that is not really pleasant. But I can assure you, and I can attest to you today, that change is not scary. Change is not something that you should be afraid of. Rather, it is something that you have to embrace and learn to adapt. For me, I have already adapted life here in India. As you can see, I am very well. My health is at 100%, and everything that is about my life is okay. Do not worry about the culture shock. Do not worry about the differences in culture or heritage, because at the end of the day, we are all people, and we have that mechanism that allows us to adapt to any situation, to any environment, or to any place that we might travel to. So my advice is, do not run away from change, but rather embrace it and adapt it. Thank you.